The 7 money habits keeping you poor, and how the wealthy think differently. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that someone had deposited $1 million into your bank account. For a moment, your biggest financial worries disappear. The bills are paid, the debt is gone. You finally buy the house you've always dreamed of. You drive the car you've always wanted. You travel the world. Life feels perfect. But here's the shocking question. If I came back 5 years later, would you still be rich? It might surprise you to learn that many people who suddenly receive large amounts of money don't stay wealthy forever. Why? Because building wealth isn't only about how much money you have. It's about the decisions you make every single day. Money doesn't change your habits, it reveals them. Every day, millions of hardworking people wake up early, work long hours, and earn decent incomes. Yet many still struggle to get ahead. At the same time, others with similar incomes slowly build financial security year after year. So what's the difference? Is it luck, better jobs, rich parents? Sometimes those things play a role. But more often than many people realize, the difference comes down to consistent habits and the choices people make with the money they earn. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 money habits that can quietly hold people back financially and the practical habits that can help people make stronger financial decisions over time. These aren't secret tricks. They aren't guaranteed shortcuts to becoming wealthy. They're principles that have helped many people build healthier financial lives through discipline, planning, and patience. By the end of this video, you may never look at money the same way again. Habit number 1. The first habit is spending first and saving whatever is left. Imagine two friends. They have the same education, the same salary. They even work in the same company. Every month, both receive exactly the same paycheck. The first person immediately starts spending. Rent, restaurants, shopping, entertainment, online purchases. At the end of the month, they hope there's something left to save. Usually, there isn't. The second person takes a different approach. Before spending anything else, they automatically set aside part of their income for savings or long-term goals. Then they build the rest of their budget around what's left. 5 years later, the difference between these two people may have little to do with how much they earned, and much more to do with the habits they practice consistently. Saving isn't about depriving yourself of everything you enjoy. It's about giving your future self options that your present self doesn't yet have. Now let's talk about the second habit that quietly holds many people back financially. Buying things to impress people who aren't paying your bills. It's easier than ever to compare ourselves with others. Every day, social media shows us expensive vacations, luxury cars, designer clothes, and beautiful homes. What we don't always see is the debt, the stress, or the financial sacrifices behind those pictures. Many people begin spending money they haven't earned to impress people they barely know. A new phone every year, designer clothing they can't comfortably afford, a luxury car with payments that leave almost nothing for savings. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things if they fit comfortably within your budget. The problem begins when appearance becomes more important than financial security. Wealth is often much quieter than people expect. Many financially successful people don't feel the need to prove their success through expensive purchases. Instead, they focus on buying things that improve their lives or help them build more financial stability over time. Before making a large purchase, ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying this because I truly need it or because I want other people to notice it? That single question can prevent many financial regrets. Now let's move on to the third habit, never learning how money actually works. Most people spend years learning mathematics, science, history, and many other subjects in school. Yet many adults leave school without ever being taught how to create a budget, understand interest, build an emergency fund, or evaluate financial decisions. As a result, many people learn about money only after making expensive mistakes. But here's the encouraging part. Financial education doesn't end when school does. Today, there are books, podcasts, videos, and courses that make learning about money more accessible than ever. You don't need to become a financial expert overnight. Even learning one new concept each week can gradually improve the decisions you make. The more you understand how money works, the more confident you become when making financial choices. Knowledge may not make someone wealthy by itself, But a lack of knowledge can make financial mistakes much more costly. The fourth habit is relying on only one source of income. For many people, a full-time job is their primary source of income, and there's nothing wrong with that. But depending entirely on a single paycheck can be risky. If that income suddenly disappears because of layoffs, illness, or unexpected life events, it can create immediate financial pressure. That's one reason many financially successful people look for ways to build additional income over time. It could be a small business, freelance work, selling digital products, investing for the long term, or creating content online. These additional income sources usually don't appear overnight. They often begin as small projects that grow with patience and consistency. The goal isn't to work every hour of the day. The goal is to avoid depending on a single source of income forever. Even earning a little extra each month can create more flexibility and reduce financial stress. Now let's look at the fifth habit, waiting for the perfect time. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'll start saving when I earn more. I'll invest next year. I'll begin learning about money after life settles down"? The truth is, there will almost never be a perfect time. Life will always bring new expenses, new responsibilities, and unexpected challenges. People who improve their financial situation often begin before they feel completely ready. They start small, they make mistakes, they learn, and they keep going. Imagine planting a tree. If you plant it today, years from now it can provide shade and fruit. But if you keep waiting for the perfect season, you may still be standing there years later with nothing planted. Financial habits work in much the same way. Small actions repeated consistently can produce meaningful results over time. The important step isn't having a perfect plan, it's taking the first step and continuing to improve along the way. The sixth habit is ignoring where your money actually goes. Many people work hard for their income, but very few can tell you exactly where every dollar goes each month. Small expenses often seem harmless on their own. A daily coffee, food deliveries, impulse purchases, subscription services you barely use. Individually, they don't look like much, but over months and years, they can quietly consume thousands of dollars. That's why many financially successful people track their spending. Not because they're obsessed with money, but because they understand that what gets measured can be improved. You don't have to record every penny forever. Even tracking your spending for 1 month can reveal patterns you never noticed before. You may discover you're spending far more in one area than you realized. Awareness is often the first step toward making better financial decisions. Now let's look at the final habit. Expecting wealth to happen quickly. We live in a world that celebrates overnight success. Social media often shows people becoming rich almost instantly, but what we don't usually see are the years of work, discipline, setbacks, and learning that came before those moments. Building financial security is usually a long-term process. It often comes from making thoughtful decisions consistently over many years. Saving regularly, continuing to learn, avoiding unnecessary debt, planning ahead, improving your skills, and staying patient. The people who appear successful overnight often spent years preparing for that moment. Real wealth is rarely built in a single day. It's built one decision at a time. So let's quickly recap the 7 habits we discussed today. Spending before saving, buying things to impress others, never learning about money, depending on only one source of income, waiting for the perfect time, ignoring where your money goes, and expecting wealth to happen overnight. None of these habits define your future. They are simply patterns that anyone can change with time, knowledge, and consistent effort. Every positive financial decision, no matter how small, is a step toward a stronger future. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to Wealth Theory for more videos that explain money, business, and wealth in a clear and practical way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.